Special angles. This is an awesome method to calculate the special angles that we usually do without a calculator, or you're usually expected to do without a calculator. So this is just an awesome method that I picked up that I really wanted to share with you guys. So what happens is this in this method is you really use your hand. You can either use your hand or just sketch a little hand like this to work from. And then from the left to the right, this is you label every finger. So your first finger is going to be all of the special angles from 0 to 90 degrees. So 0, 35, 45, 60, and 90 degrees is my special angles that I work with. And then you number your fingers. For sine, I'm going to number the same way that I did the angles. So 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm just going to start from 0, but then I number my fingers 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. And for cos, I'm just going to number from the other side 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. And for tan, you're going to use both of them. So I made the sine ones that I use, I've made them green here. And the cos ones that I use, I've made them pink. And then you use these formulas for sine, the root of the green number over 2, for cos the root of the pink number over 2, and for tan the root of the green number over the root of the pink number. And how this works is as follows. Say for instance, I'm going to do all of them so you can just see. And it might be a good idea, sit with your calculator and test whether this works. I had to, because I don't believe anything works before I've tested it myself. Right, so sit with your calculator and test if you do get the same answer. So sine 0 degrees will then be root, I use root of the green numbers over 2. So 0 degrees is root 0 over 2. Now I know root 0 is just 0. So this is 0 over 2, which is 0. And then for sine 30, I'm going to look at the 30 finger and then use root 1 over 2. Now I know the square root of 1 is just 1, so this is actually a half, or 0.5. Right? And then for sine 45 degrees, I use root 2, 45 degrees, root 2 over 2. The green ones are for sine. And then, well, root 2 over 2, you can actually just leave like that if you work without a calculator. But if you do work with a calculator, I think it's going to give you 0.7 something. Then sine of 60. 60 is just root 3 over 2. And sine of 90 degrees would then be root 4 over 2. So I just use the green ones in a root over 2 for sine. Alright? And root 4 is 2. I know the square root of 4 is 2, so 2 over 2 gives me 1. So sine of 90 is 1. And sine of 0 is 0. And then the others lies there. Let me quickly show you the cos ones also. So for cos, I'm going to use the pink numbers, which I've numbered from this side, but I still use for cos 0, I use now 4. And for cos 30, I use 3. In a root over 2, same as with sine. So I'm going to say cos of 0 degrees would then be root 4 over 2. And root 4 is 2, which gives me 1. And then for cos 30 degrees, I've got root 3 over 2, which I can just leave like that if I'm working without a calculator. And for cos 45 degrees, I have root 2 over 2, which I can also just leave like that. And for cos 60 degrees, you have root 1 over 2, which is 1 over 2. And for cos 90 degrees, you have root 0 over 2, which is 0 over 2, which is 0. Alright, so that's how cos works. So easy to find to write down the special angles with this method. It's amazing. I can't believe I never learned this in school. But hopefully you can learn it now and use it. Right? And then for tan, what you want to do is you take the root of the green one over the root of the pink one. Right, so for tan 0, for instance, then I look at the 0 finger. I'm going to use root of 0 over root of 4. The roots of 0 and 4 is 0 and 2, and 0 over 2 is just 0. Then for 30 degrees, I have root 1 over root 3. Now I know root of 1 is 1, so I can simplify that, but root 3 I don't know, so I'm just going to leave it like that. And then for tan 45, I've got root 2 over root 2, which is the same thing over the same thing is always 1. And for tan 60 degrees, I've got root 3 over root 1. Now again, root 1 is just 1, and anything over 1 is that anything. You know, over 1 I don't need to write. And then for tan 90 degrees, I've got root 4 over root 0. But in mathematics, which is 2 over 0, but in mathematics I can't divide by 0, so this is then undefined. And you know, hopefully, also that on the tan graph at 90 you've got an asymptote, and this is because tan 90 is undefined. Right, so that's the special angles from 0 to 90 on your hand. I really hope you can use this method, and this makes that a lot easier. Yes.